Hey guys, Nas here with another video. In this video, I'll be going over the changes Samurai received from Shadowbringers to Endwalker, where it stands in the meta, and changes I'd like to see. Okay, with that out the way, let's get into this, yeah? Our first big change was to Third Eye. It no longer procs Saigen or Merciful Eyes if we take damage, but instead gives us 10 Kenki right away. This is overall more DPS than prior iterations of Samurai. The next change was to Jinpu and Shifu. They no longer give the buff to their name, but a different name. The effect, however, is still the same. So why point this out, Nas? I brought this up because our AoE combos now grants us the same buff. No longer will we need to single target to get our buffs before we AoE. Just Meikyo and go to town. Speaking of Meikyo, it now also grants us the same buff if we use Gecko or Kasha. One of Samurai's biggest weakness in Shadowbringers was downtime in fights. Now we can get back to our rotation 3 GCDs faster with this change. Speaking of Meikyo, she also got buffed. We now have 2 stacks of her, which is great for burst windows or getting our buffs up quickly. While all of these changes may seem good, Iki Shoten did suffer a nerf, so to say, as it is now on a 2-minute cooldown instead of 1. But it grants us our strongest GCD, Ogi, and Kaeshi. Back to the buffs. Gurren and Sene now cost 25 Kinki instead of 50, which is insane! Tsubame has a second charge, which is great for single target or AoE burst. We finally have an AoE spender with our meditation stacks, which show Ha2, and Fugo got changed to Fuko, which means our base AoE rotation is around our hitbox instead of a conal. Now with almost all of these changes looking good for us, you're probably wondering, is Sam still meta? Well, according to FFLog's ranking, at first glance, it may not seem that way, as monks and reapers are currently flooding the ranks by our DPS. This is because monks bring Brotherhood, and reapers have Arcane Circle, and we have our raw DPS? But if you look by end DPS, then you'll in fact see we are still the kings of melee, so have no fear. Now on to changes I'd like to see. As it stands, we're already competing neck and neck with our counterparts Monk and Reaper before Savage even comes out. As we get more gear, I fear that we'll fall behind, as their percentage buffs will only give more RDPS. I hope we get potency buffs to fix this, or expect Monk and Reaper to get nerfed a little, as a job with raid buffs should not be so close to a job without any. Going back to Iki Shoten, I feel like giving Ogi and Kaeshi a separate button was unnecessary button bloat, as Iki Shoten is a 2-minute cooldown and gives us a 30-second window to use Ogi and Kaeshi. This means they'll never be up at the same time. It would be nice if Iki Shoten just changes to Ogi and then Kaeshi. Another change I'd like to see is Third Eye having a sound effect or a visual to know it procced. Before we had Saigen or Merciful Eyes to know, but now we just get 10 Kinki. This normally isn't an issue, but in the current normal mode fights for Pandemonium 1 through 4, there are back-to-back attacks within a 13-second window, which means we need to pop Third Eye early to have it back up to get the second hit. This means one would have to pay close attention to their Kinki amount to see if they timed it right, which takes away focus from the fight, and it could lead to death in Savage. Reaper's Arcane Crest makes a shield-breaking noise when it activates, so something similar like this would be nice. Outside of that, I absolutely love Samurai. It plays like the last expansion, except better with the changes we got. Are there any changes you'd like to see to be made? If so, leave it down in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Don't forget, if this video brought you value, please leave a like and consider subscribing to see more. Until the next video, I'll see ya.